So Phil Foden's just signed a new contract till 2030, but I think we need to sit down and have a serious conversation as City fans and just be honest with ourselves about what his future should hold at the club. Now, obviously, naturally, homegrown player, we're going to want him to succeed more than others. We're going to be harsher on others, like particularly foreign players, when they don't meet the expectations we set on them. However, we're at a point now where Phil Foden is 26 years of age and his inconsistencies need to stop. We're looking to win leagues. We're at a point now where we're getting a new manager in. It's a transition period. We need players to be turning up. You know, it could be very dark if a lot of these players don't turn up because we haven't got an elite manager to get us out of it. I think since his proper breakthrough season, I think he got his actual debut in like the Centurion season. I think he made his debut in the Champions League. But I think his real breakthrough season in terms of actually getting games in the starting 11 consistently was 2020/21. Fantastic in that season, very good. But then the season after, he was a bit meh. Treble season, he was decent at times. He was good in certain games. 23/24, definitely his best season, a very exceptional season, and I'd probably say singling out as one season, he was world class for that season. I mean, he carried us in a lot of games. Haaland was out for a lot of that season. De Bruyne was out for half of that season. He stepped up and literally, I think if it weren't for him that season, genuinely we could have struggled a lot more, and we, even with him, only won the league by 1 point. So shows the impact that he had. But 24/25, yes, the whole squad played poorly, but he didn't, particularly stand out as someone that was like a bright spark or anything either. And then this season, he had a very good period from like probably the start of the season to about maybe November, December. After that, he's fallen off a cliff really. He's had good moments again, like the assist against Palace, but he's just too inconsistent. I think any other player at this point probably would have been sold. Now, I'm not saying right now we need to sell him, but I think the expectations on him, if he's not meeting them, they need to be a lot harsher. Like I said, he's 26 now. He's not. Although we see him as one of our own. We produced him. He's the star boy. He's not. He's not old, but he's not a youngster anymore. Like, we can't keep treating him like one. And I think a lot of the fan base kind of still tries to treat him like that. And I think obviously at this point in time, the likes of De Bruyne, David Silva, definitely some of the biggest legends the club's ever had, are definitely better at this point than Cherki and Reinders and even Semenyo and Doku on the wings, where Foden can play as well. But I think at that time we had an array of great talent, but you could understand Foden's a youngster. It's going to take time for him to integrate. Plus, he's got so many elite players who have already established themselves in the team. Whereas now, we're getting more players where, one, he's not a youngster himself, and two, the likes of Cherki, who's starting pretty much ahead of him in his position, is younger than him. Semenyo's the same age as him. We just went and spent 65 mil on him. I know Reinders hasn't really performed, but he's got 55 mil. If we keep bringing players into the squad, they're naturally going to get more game time because obviously we're going to get a bit of use out of our money for them. So they're in positions where potentially Foden gets less game time. And I think the fact that we saw a season from him like we did in the 23/24 season shows what he realistically should be doing on a consistent basis. He should be one of the players now that players are coming in and looking at and going, I have to get ahead of him. Whereas he hasn't really properly cemented the place down. And we're talking about Cherki is probably more cemented the place down in 1 year than Foden has across the time he's been there. I think really now he should be essentially where, maybe not to the level, because obviously De Bruyne is like fucking probably best player I've ever seen at the club, but he should be what De Bruyne was when he was a youngster to the likes of Cherki. So yeah, I do think Foden needs to step up. I have no hate on him. Obviously, I think he can produce that, but I think we need to be a lot harsher on the expectations being met by him as City fans. That's all I wanted to say. Obviously, he's here till 2030. Up to Phil. Just let's see more of it, lad. Let's see fucking more of it. Up the fucking Blues.